Okay, welcome back. And if you watched the last video on asking simple maths questions, you can see here that we had some blocks that we created where we'd ask what is 2 plus 5, and then we look for an answer because it'll give an answer, and we check that that equals 7. If it is, we say, well done, you got that right. Otherwise, we say, no, you got that wrong. So, how do we make it a bit better? How do we add extra questions? Well, I could carry on doing this. I could duplicate this block, make another set of questions, change the number. So, oh, I've missed a bit there. So I'm going to have to come back here. And I could take this, duplicate it again, put it in there, put it back together again. Things with this, it starts getting a little bit tricky. So let's ask what's 2 plus 2. And the thing I've got to remember is I've now got to remember to change the answer. If I don't, then it won't work. So here, I can do that. And hopefully, what is 2 plus 2? Answer equals 4. And I've got the well done, you got that right. No, you got that wrong. So let's give it a go. Let's press the green flag. So what is 2 plus 5? We'll say 7. It says, well done, I got that right. Now asking me what 2 plus 2 is. I know it's 4, but I'm going to say 5 just to check the other bit works. And it says, no, you got that wrong. Now, obviously, we could carry on adding these questions until we got 10 or 20. The problem with it, though, is that we've got to change the questions and make sure that the answers tally up, that they are correct. And there's the possibility for quite a lot of bugs to get in here. So we need another way to do it. So we're going to use something called variables. So I'm going to get rid of most of this, and we may use some of it later. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to variables, and I'm going to make a variable, and that variable is going to be called number1, and set it for all sprites, and click OK. And then I'm going to make another variable, which is number2, and I click on OK. So now I have two variables, number1 and number2. And they've also appeared over here as number1 and number2. So I want to set my variable to something. So I'm going to say set number1. Now, we used some operators last time, and those were really useful. So I can actually set my number to a random number. In this case, I could use between 1 and 10. And then I could do the same again. I can go set my variable, in this case number2, and I could also pick a random number from 1 to 10. So I've got those, I don't need that now. And let's just see, let's get rid of the number1. So that's great. So now I've got to have number1 and number2. But now, how do I ask the question? Well, if you come down here, there's a lovely thing here called join. And we're going to create quite a lot of these together. I'm trying to work it out because it's going to be what is, we're going to put a number, which is going to be there. We're going to nest these together. I'm going to put maybe a few too many in, because what I'm going to say here is what is space. I need a space because, or else it'll all crunch together and bunch up. So I could go back here and I'm going to say what is number1, and then I need to put a space in, plus and space. I can join number2 into here. So there we go, number2. So what is number1? Let's just move these over so we can see it. What is number1 plus number2? And it's not a banana, so I'm going to say put a question mark in there. So now I can put this block in to ask the question. So if I bring this over here, just move this over so we can see it. I should have, if I test it, what is 10 plus 7? Well, I'll put something in, but it's now not going to do anything. Now I need to check my answer. So if I go to control, I'm going to use this if then else. So if it's true, then do this. If it's false, then do something else. So what I need here is another operator. So I need to say if number 1 plus number 2 equals answer, then do something. So let's have a go at that. So I need a plus. I'm going to say if, let's go and get some variables here. If number 1 plus number 2, so I need to put this into an equals, so I need to do that. So I need to put that into there. If number 1 plus number 2 equals 50, well, we don't want it to be equal 50, we want to check it against the person's answer. So we're going to put our answer in here. So if number 1 plus number 2 equals answer, then do something. So let's put that in there. We can then say, okay, looks, that's going to be, well done, you are correct. Oh, except I wasn't typing it in properly. Well done, you are correct. Just leave it as a full stop. Else I've got to say, no, you got that wrong. No, you got that wrong. Okay, so we could now have a look at this. So let's check it. Number 1 to a random number between 1 and 10. Number 2 is the same. So what is number 1 plus number 2? If number 1 plus number 2 equals the answer, then say well done. Otherwise say no, you got that wrong. So let's have a little test. Does it work? What is 7 plus 10? Well, that's 17. Click on the blue tick there. And it says well done, you're correct. So I could do it again. Let's just get it wrong. So I'm going to say 32. And it will say no, you got that wrong. So that's a way that we can use variables. And I suppose the next thing we want to do is sort of keep score actually. So let's add a variable in called score. So I'm going to call that score and say OK. So I now have a variable called score. Well, if they got it correct, we're going to have to change the variable score by 1. So I'm going to change the score variable here by 1. Okay. Otherwise say no, you got that wrong. So let's try that and see whether the score goes up. So what's 10 plus 5? That's 15. And we're going to click OK. And it says well done, you're correct. And my score has gone up by 1. So I could, I suppose, maybe be really mean and say if I got it wrong, then my score would go down by 1. So I could put here, change my variable, so change the score by not 1, but minus 1. And then if I give that a little test, so what 6 plus 5 is 11, and I got it correct, so that works, and my score's gone up to 2. Do it again, and I've got 8 plus 7, which is, it's 15, but I'm going to say 12, and see whether it takes something away. No, you got that wrong, and I've lost a point. So you can see here how we can use these variables to store information or to help create questions by setting them to random numbers. Now, what we need to then look at in a next video is how we can set this so that it repeats and it can ask lots and lots of questions, maybe 10 or 20 questions, and then give a score at the end. So thank you for watching.